Six podcast. I'm Jess.
And I'm Marissa.
And today we've got some things to chat with you about. First of all, how about that 1 year episode? Am I right?
Did you like it?
Did you like
Did you love it?
Did you think, oh my God? Were you like, oh, I get to watch the episode and hear them sing? Yeah, so a little bit about that episode. Marissa had the idea for us to sing and chose the song too. She came in with big boss energy into my room and said, I know what we should do. And as it turns out, Taylor Swift is kind of hard to sing. I was like, ooh, my voice is not.
We had to play around with the key a little bit.
It was a funny place in my voice, and it showed.
No,
but, we
didn't.
We dropped down half
step. Yeah. Little capo action for my
Marissa
guitar
have
players.
To go lower than she was comfortable with
because the harmony is already low.
We tried it a whole step down, and it was like way too low for Marissa.
I was like,
but like,
I lived, I loved.
And in like a good place for me, but kind of low. Like didn't need to be that low. So then we went up a little bit, and I was like, ooh, okay, I think this is a better place, because at first it was sort of like in a weird place in my range where I literally didn't know if I should go into my head voice or not.
Yeah,
this like at least kept me in my chest voice, but then Marissa had to be like, I live.
Yeah,
and I learn.
I had to bring out my alto energy,
but it was a compromise.
It was good. I had fun,
and we had fun. True. Yeah.
Yes, true.
It was fun to just celebrate the pod.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed. We hope you were surprised by both elements, the visual episode and also the singing. Other thing to tackle today, as we sit here, we are vaccinated two-timers.
Two times vaxxed.
Two-timers.
Old timers, two-timers vaxxed.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are not two-timers, but we
are
vaxxed.
Just to hit me what the other meaning of two-timing is.
We got our second shots this afternoon.
This very day. We meet at noon to be vaxxed.
And it was cool.
It was so efficient. Yeah, I mean, it hurt more the second time.
That's what I was going to say. I
wasn't
going to say it hurt. It hurt more this time for some reason. And so Marissa's a little bit of a
nervous Nelly.
A nervous shot.
Nervous needler.
Shot-y.
Yeah.
And so I go first. And she said to me, we're sitting in the Uber, right? And she turns to me and she's like, what did you say? You were like,
I was like,
I don't want to do this alone.
Well, because last time they fully took us as a duo through the whole process and let us sit at a table together, get our shots together.
Yeah, they treated us like we were one person.
Yeah, like Siamese twins.
Because we would, they'd be like, are you together? And we would be like, yes, as in you don't need to separate us because we're in the same household. So we don't need to take up two tables. We don't need to take up two people. We are, in the same household. So yes, but we are both getting shots. So we're not together in the sense that
neither of us is tagging along.
Yeah, I just brought someone. So it was funny because they treated us like the same person last time.
And I liked it because then you were sitting there and you did it first. That's and right. I was like, nothing bad can happen to me. And so I just was like,
I was born first, so it's only right that I have to go through everything first.
So I was like, I hope they let us sit together again. And they did.
I don't want to do it alone. I was like, all right.
I am kind of a wuss with shots. I just I can't look at it.
But what was funny is last time, knowing that Marissa was a little nervous, as soon as I got the shot, I was like, oh my God, it genuinely did not hurt at all. It was barely could even tell she put a needle into me the first time.
Yeah, you authentically, you weren't putting on a show. You were like, that wasn't bad.
I very eagerly and quickly said oh my gosh, that was such, that was the best shot I've ever gotten. I barely felt that.
Favorite shot ever.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not someone who really fears shots to begin with or anything, but I don't think they feel good. But this was like, I really didn't feel anything. And so I like wanted to hype Marissa up. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really didn't feel anything. So this time, you know, knowing I didn't need to like hype her up because like she's there, obviously, like no matter what happens, like we're getting the shot. But it's like knowing that she had the shot experience that I had last time and it was really good. I was like, oh, she's probably not even worried this time, whatever. But we're sitting there, so I didn't feel like I needed to be like, oh, that didn't hurt at all. But at this time, it did hurt. And so I sat there, and I just, like, had zero. Did I have any reaction?
Well, so I wasn't looking at your face because I can't look at the shot go into the arm. Okay. So, like, I wasn't looking. I was, like, looking, like, off into space. But I looked at you, like, right after he was done. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I could just tell that, like, the first time you very authentically were like, that truly wasn't bad at all. Yeah. Like, that was good. And then this time I could tell that, like, you kind of, like, said the same words, but the feeling was different.
Yeah, I didn't, like, grimace or make any sort of expression. I just, like, sat there, and then the guy was like, that wasn't bad, right? I was like, oh no, like not at all bad, like nothing to worry about. But like it actually stung. So I like didn't react. And he was like, oh, like tell her not to worry, whatever. I was like, yeah, Marissa, I was like, truly not a big deal at all. And that's true. But I couldn't say like that didn't hurt. I didn't feel anything like the last time. And so I didn't say any of that. And then I felt bad, like I was like, yeah, I know what she said for. And so he like sticks it in her arm
so slowly.
She doesn't react at first, and then I watch him like push the stuff in, and I see her face like go like kind of like she just like sucked on a lemon, like it just sort of like
I don't know how you didn't make a face. Because I just, like, couldn't control it. Like, my face just, like, contorted.
Because I knew I couldn't. I knew I didn't want to freak you out. So yeah. I was, like... I think I also genuinely... I wasn't expecting it to sting at all just because of the last time.
It didn't last time, yeah.
So I just truly, like... It was like, oh. I just kind of sat there, like, oh...
oh my god!
But then by the time that you realized it hurt, it was done.
Yeah, it's so totally like it's so not a big deal, and so it's so worth it.
Like,
but
yeah, so that one hurt, right?
Yeah, I was like, damn it, yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's. I mean, maybe we shouldn't even be saying all this because I don't want anyone to think that they shouldn't.
No, I mean,
anyone who listens to this podcast knows they should.
I will say this too, like I am, as we've said, someone who really doesn't like shots and gets nervous for them, and like. Yes, it hurt, but like it really was no big deal. Like yeah, I would willingly go do that again. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm never gonna do that again in my life. It was horrible.
And it didn't hurt it hurt in the way that I expected the first one to. Like it hurt in a way that was like every other kind of shot.
Like a flu shot,
the first one just did not hurt at all, which is why I was like, whoa.
Our first girl just had a magic touch.
This?
Yeah.
Alexa, she was incredible.
Hearts out to you, girl.
So that's the tea day. So
Big
we
update.
Are now 7.5 hours into it. We're still feeling fine. Our arms are a little sore.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, we're like normal for now. So we're gonna record an episode.
Yeah, because TBD on tomorrow and like later tonight.
And also we are both spending some time the next few weeks with family.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like the end of this month, but Marissa has to go home for an appointment, so
for my teeth.
Yeah, for her teeth. So she won't be here next weekend. So we TBD on whether we have any recording sessions. Maybe I'll do a solo or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically like second half, like back half of May and first half of June.
Yeah, we have like...
is the time that's like ambiguous.
Yeah. So we were like, you know what? Really it was Marissa because I was just like not even thinking about that.
Because I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking about tonight we had our appointment at noon and then we went grocery shopping just to get it over with, and we came back and we ordered food because we hadn't eaten a meal yet and we were hungry.
And we were like, we're going to order takeout on our vax day.
Yeah, we like wanted it. But then like it was like, you know, 6, 7, and I was like, we've like done all the things we wanted to do.
Movie. Like truly, it's 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday night. We have eaten dinner. We have watched an entire movie.
Baked cupcakes. Ate them. Yeah.
We're running out of things.
That's
Marissa was like, I don't know what to do other than go to bed. I was like,
that's truly why I suggested to podcast, because I was like, otherwise I'm just gonna go to sleep.
So yeah, we're kind of knowing that we might, be taking a few weeks off. We're like, let's hit them with another episode.
Yeah.
And for that episode, we will be playing Would You Rather.
Classic.
But before we get into that, you know what time it is. 11 or almost 12 minutes into this podcast. Here we go. Roses and Thorns. Marissa takes a sip of water. What is your thorn of this past week?
My thorn honestly just goes right along with what we were just talking about getting our second vaccines, because I'm just like scared. So
all right.
Well, so like as we were touching on, I was like scared to get it. Like I just never like getting a shot. So I was like, that was like a hurdle of like, okay, got to get the shot over with. And now it's just the second hurdle is like whether or not we have any side effects. And like we've had a few conversations about this week, because it's just like such a like hot topic right now of like, oh, did you have any side effects? Like, oh, did you feel good the next day? And like it's such a mixed bag that like I wish it was a cut and dry thing of like, people under the age of whatever, like 30 are definitely going to get symptoms, or like people who have this condition are definitely going to get symptoms. Like if there was just a way that you could know like, oh yes, I fall into that category, therefore I will get symptoms. But it kind of just seems like some people do, some people don't. They vary.
Bodies are so different, and people's immune systems are different. If you have been sick a lot, that's going to affect your immune system for positive or negative, I guess. And so it's just everyone like deals like every illness looks different with different people. Like even if you and I got the same
like the flu,
the same strain of the flu, like it could look different for us. So there is no guarantee, but I feel like it is like from what I've seen, the trend is sort of like, if you're under age of 40, you're like most likely going to get symptoms. If you're 40 to 60, you may or may not. If you're 60 and above, you're less likely to. So I'm kind of like, I already kind of feel like I have my answer on it, though I have yet to.
I know. I just want to like get it over with and just know, because I just like, I am someone who hates unknowns, and I want to be able to know. Like I want to be able to.
This is an exercise in
this is like character trait of me.
This is an exercise in sitting with uncertainty.
Yes, definitely, which is hard for me. Because I just like, I always like to like go to bed at night knowing what at least the next day is going to look like. Yeah. Like I'm someone who like will go to bed at night and think like, okay, tomorrow I'm doing this and this is kind of my schedule, and I always check the weather and I'm like, this is what I'm going to wear. Like I always kind of like plan out the next day. So the fact that like I could go to bed tonight and have no idea like how I'm going to feel tomorrow, just freaks me out. But all that said, 100% worth it. So glad we're vaxxed. Like wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I'm so glad that we got it, but just a little nervous about the uncertainty. That's all. What about you? Takes a sip of water too.
That was unplanned. My thorn from this past week is definitely that I wasn't really feeling that great. My allergies are roaring. I have like just been like very slightly kind of nauseous this week, post-nasal drip, like waking up with sort of a scratchy throat. And then as the day goes on, I feel better, which is kind of how I know it's allergies.
That's
like
classic allergies. Yeah.
It's like worse in the morning when I wake up, when it almost feels like when the dust settles, and then when you like kick the dust up or something, it's sort of like you're like moving through it instead of so like
tainted
you feel
air.
it, but you're not. It's not like coating you or something. That's sort of how I visualize it. Like classic allergies, but it's also just like caused me a little bit of anxiety because I was like, oh no, like I don't want to be feeling kind of sick and then go get the vaccine, then feel even worse. Like I don't want to like go into getting the vaccine not feeling well. Obviously I could still get the vaccine because even though like things like congestion are also symptoms of COVID, like I know that it's not COVID.
They also say
allergies.
if you're feeling more than mildly ill.
They technically say on the vax site, if you're feeling more than mildly ill, please reschedule your appointment. I was like, good thing I'm only feeling
you're feeling mildly ill.
So just like very classic allergy symptoms. And I was like talking to my mom and she's like, oh, I've been feeling the same way, just like a little bit groggy, a little tired. And it's been like, I feel like I've been dragging my feet through this week and just wasn't like a good feeling, like not having a lot of motivation or energy. I didn't go on walks this week. Just was like not feeling energized. So yeah, that's it. What is your your rose?
My rose is that I took a random kind of unplanned day off this past week. And I just really enjoyed myself. Like I just had like a me day where I just like went downtown and like got my favorite coffee, sat on a bench and read Patti Smith for a while, and then like popped in a few stores and then like sat on another bench and read some more because I liked it, and then like walked a little bit. Like it felt like a very me day. I just like enjoyed my own company and the company of Patti Smith and her words. And it was good. What about you?
Probably getting the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean that too.
But also 1 year anniversary episode.
I know, it's like
fun. Like we like enjoyed like the lead up to that, like doing all the stuff for it.
Yeah, we were saying it kind of felt like a like a lead up to a concert, like an acapella concert.
There
or
were
something.
just like more moving parts that we were sort of like the night before. I was like, oh my god, there's still so much to do. And Marissa was like, wait, what do you have to do? And I was like, well,
we like powwowed.
Like I sent her the podcast audio because we used the mic. So like Marissa took the took the audio and like did doctored
just
up
like
the audio
normal
the
podcast editing,
for the Spotify feed and the Apple Podcast feed. And then I took the YouTube audio or the YouTube visual, created the video around that, created like the thumbnails and for that, and also like for the song. And so it was like creating those thumbnails, then creating like the Instagram artwork, and then like writing out the captions and whatnot. Like it was just a lot of little teeny pieces, and also like writing like the thank you things on like the back of the like, so that when it ended the video there would be like something there. And so it was just funny, like there was just a lot of little things to do, but it was like fun. It was like a nice little creative project. But then also getting vaccinated, that was fun.
Yes, vaxxed up and ready to party.
I'm booking smoochy appointments.
Oh my god, time to hit up all the boys this summer.
No. All right. So,
righty-roo.
Prior to this episode, I tasked Marissa was tasked with, I don't know if I could task you with something, but you can be tasked with finding, no one cares, finding questions for a game of Would You Rather. So I haven't heard any of the questions. In the most ideal scenario, I would have also found questions for Marissa that she wouldn't have heard. However, I was coloring. And
you have more important thing. Well, you baked cupcakes for us, so I chose questions for us. Yeah. No, and also I think it would be fun to like the next time we do Would You Rather, you do pick them. So that's kind of like I
have very little energy
two-parter.
After baking my cupcakes, so I just didn't feel like doing it. So, Marissa.
So, we've got kind of a mixed bag. I mean, some of them are like jokey. Some of them are more like interesting, I guess. Like,
are you going to read all of them? Or should I sometimes ask you?
I'm going to read all of them so that you don't even look at them.
Oh my God.
And you hear them.
And we'll answer the same ones.
Yeah, we'll both just.
Or is this like a Would you rather Jess edition?
Would Jess rather?
Yeah.
No, I think we should just both answer them, but you first. And then I can just be like, agree, or I disagree, and here's why. Okay, so number 1, again, these differ in like tone because I got them from a bunch of different websites, but not purposefully. This first one is kind of like a more serious one, I guess. But would you rather be in a bad relationship for the rest of your life or be single for the rest of your life?
Is there an option for a good relationship?
No.
Because my therapist always says what did she say? Staying out of a bad relationship is, I can never quote her on this. Staying out of a bad relationship
it's like saving time.
Saves time for finding a good one. Or something like that. Like sometimes staying out of a bad relationship
frees you up.
Yeah. It's even better than, I would rather be single the rest of my life. What is a bad, that's an interesting, like, is it just like you're not fully satisfied, or is it like,
bad is subjective,
or like harmful?
I would think, since they're not saying like, like abusive or like horrible, like it's just like bad, like I feel like it's just kind of like,
I'd rather be single. Because then it's like I can still date. I'm just not gonna end up in a relationship. And
you can still like do all those kind of other like adult things. Like you could still have kids on your own. Oh, different moods. You could still have a family on your own. You could still like have a house, buy a house. Like you could still do all the things that like you would do with a partner. And then, just like date a bunch of people instead of being like stuck with one who's bad. So I would be single too, for sure. Would you rather spend an entire day inside or outside? I'm thinking like not like 24 hours, like not you would have to like find somewhere to sleep outside, but like say like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's an interesting. I feel
like inside because I already have done that.
Yeah, same.
Like I already have like
especially this fast.
Yeah, like what do you mean? Like
I just think it's interesting because like I feel like
winter days this last year, like
I just
didn't have to go to work.
I feel like we both have like in different iterations of question games or like conversations with friends have talked about like what our ideal day would be, and I feel like for both of us it's a mix of outside things, doing things, and then like being inside.
Being outside can really tucker me out.
Same.
First of all, I'm allergic to everything outside, so it makes me really sleepy. But I'm also really like sun sensitive. Like the sun really tuckers me out. I just thought it was interesting because like we both would put both into like our ideal day, but like which one would we choose if we had to pick one? A day where I'm like spending the whole like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. outside would be really exhausting for me. But I know people, it's just like just normal. Okay. But I know people who would like love to spend an entire day outside. Like they'd be like, yes, I love nature. I'd love to spend the whole entire day out. The cooler answer is saying outside. Like I feel like that's now adventurous. Like, you can't like to be like, you want to just spend your time indoors. It's like, the frick is wrong with liking some ceilings, floors, and walls? Like, what's the problem? I agree. It's the problem with wanting some indoor plumbing. Nothing. Would you rather only be able to have one child or have to have 7? That's funny. My mom is one of 7, so I'm like, do I want to be my nana or do I want to be? Well, not my mom, because my mom had 2. They just chose this random number, but that's funny. 1 or 7. Yes. Like you have to have 1. You have to have 7. You're unable to have any more. Mm-hmm. You have to commit to 7. Yes. I kind of feel like, assuming, I don't know. I guess that's hard because like my inclination is to say 7 because I really like the idea of having more than one kid. Mm-hmm. To give them siblings and to have variety. Like for myself. If you're sick of one, you can go talk to the other one. I like the idea of having like little kids, little people around. A little community. And like Christmas mornings, my 7 kids. Oh my God. It would be so everyone would be so hyped, and like I actually like love the idea of having multiple children, but multiple to me is like 2 or 3. Like, right. I would maybe do 4 if I knew like, oh, you're gonna love it. Like, and everything's gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna be able to support them, whatever. My thing with 7 is not only do I worry about like myself, so like, you know,
the toll that takes,
and what that'll, you know, how that'll work out,
right?
But also, just being able to care for 7 children and having like a home that is big enough for us, and having the money to adequately provide them for them all. But my Nana did it. So.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting for you being faced with this question, because like you have a family where that was a thing, like that was a normal thing. Like, to me, being,
my mom literally was one of 7. That's
crazy.
Like,
to me, being like from a small family where like nobody I know has more than, not nobody I know, but like nobody in my immediate family has more than 3 kids. Like, even 3 is like a lot to me. So 7 to me sounds like they might as well have said 1 million. Like, it just sounds like so many kids to me.
Yeah, it is a lot of kids.
But I honestly would definitely say 1 kid, because
well, you've always said that that's what you want.
Yeah,
so
because
like, not like a punishment.
And I just don't get, like, I feel like that's such an unpopular opinion for an only child to have. Like, they always say only children don't want to have only children, but I don't feel that way at all. Like, I would happily have 1 kid.
Yeah, I would rather have 1 kid than no kids.
Yes.
But my ideal has never been to only have 1.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have a 10-hour dinner with a politician from an opposing party?
Oh my God.
Or attend a 10-hour concert for a band you hate?
10-hour dinner. Because at least there'll be different courses, like meals, so I can like there'll be like some changes in scenery.
I see what you mean.
I'll get to eat. I'll get to sit down. And we don't have to talk if we don't want to. Like, if there are points where, like, we're getting into it, we can stop talking. But I also feel like there's so much to talk to people about besides their political affiliation. So, like, even if I hate, like, okay, say it's Trump, right? Like, okay, let's just, like, go for the worst, right?
Right.
Do I want to have a 10-hour dinner with Trump? No, not at all. But could I? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, 10 hours is just a really long.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But we could sit in silence.
Say even like 5 hours. Like, that's still a long time.
2 hours is like, like when you go out to a restaurant and you order an appetizer.
Yeah, 10 hours is a bit astronomical.
I feel like you can find common ground in sometimes like the most basic things. It doesn't have to be like we have a good conversation and we reach agreements and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I would rather just go. I just imagine, like, say it's like screamo music and I'm like standing there. I just feel like that would absolutely zap the energy out of me.
Yeah.
To go to a concert and be like standing or sitting and having everyone yelling and screaming and dancing around me and the band sucks. So I just feel like I would not do that.
Well, okay, you raised some interesting points.
What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was concert, just because, like, in general, I'd rather go to a concert than a dinner and have a conversation with someone. But not just someone, like someone I don't know, or even worse than that, someone I don't like. Because then, if the thing that I like about concerts just now normally is, well, not now because COVID, but normal life normally, is that you sort of can like blend into a crowd of people who are like-minded, and you're all just like,
but these aren't like-minded.
I know. That's the problem. But I'm just thinking, like, activity wise, would I rather just kind of like fade into anonymity in a concert crowd, or like be face to face in a social situation with someone?
What's interesting about like band you hate too is like hate almost implies that you know the band, so it's like,
which so that's why I say you raise some interesting points, because like just in terms of like, I don't know, like headache, like if it's like a band I hate within a genre that I like or at least tolerate, then that's different. Like, put it this way, I hate the Dave Matthews Band.
I knew you were going to. This is like what I was dancing around saying.
That's what I was thinking in my head. I hate them, and I dated someone who loved them. Had a Dave Matthews Band poster in their living room. Yeah. Talked about taking me to a concert, and I broke up with him. No, just kidding. Well, not kidding, but that's not totally why.
I don't hate any band because I've never listened to a band enough to hate them if I don't like them.
But so like Dave Matthews Band, I hate I hate them. I'm taking a stand. No, I don't like the whole like crowd of people who are obsessed with them.
Let's do this. Pick the restaurant and pick the person you would bring with you to the concert. Like, let's like doctor it up a little bit. Like, if you had to go to a 10-hour Dave Matthews Band concert, but it was like, you know, at your local Agganis Arena with me. Not that I would ever go to a Dave Matthews Band concert. Or you're at, you know, the Cheesecake Factory for 10 hours with Mitt Romney. What do you think?
I would easily pick Dave Matthews Band because my point is, but if it wasn't, so like the reason I chose Dave Matthews Band is not only because it's funny that I hate them so much, but also because like they fall into a genre that like isn't like upsetting to my ears. It's like I don't like the way they sound, but like, you know, they're playing guitars and drums and singing. Like it's like it's not like my ears don't like hate it, like they can tolerate it.
Like I went to like screamo.
If it was like really like heavy metal that would like give me a headache, or like I
also feel like something really mundane, like say it was just like
like a 10-hour long like saxophone solo,
or like jazz band concert, or or even like a folky like bandstand that you're just listening to for fucking
I would love that.
I would be like, oh my gosh. Like,
but
I don't want to listen to anything for 10 hours. Really
that's
don't.
fair. 10 hours is like a really long time.
If any of you hear this, I keep hitting my I keep hitting my water bottle, but I need to put it away.
Maybe you can't hear it. I just have no idea what picks up and what doesn't. I don't know. So I think you raised a good point with genre. Like if it was a genre I couldn't tolerate, then I'd do the conversation. But if it was a band I hate within a genre I could tolerate, then I would easily choose that.
I will throw down with Mitt Romney at the Cheesecake Factory.
Do it for the brown bread.
I will. He'll be paying.
He should be. Okay, would you rather become 5 years younger or 2 years older?
Do I have to do I just like become that age, or do I think go back in life?
I think,
you know what I mean? Like, if I go back to 20, for example, like, do I then have to like do everything I was doing?
Yes.
Okay, so like rewind.
You're just going back. Yeah.
Rewind 5 years or fast forward 2 years.
Yep.
Oh my.
I thought it was interesting the amount of time that they chose. Yeah. Like instead of just being like 5 years back or 5 years forward.
I think because a lot of people might choose 5 years back.
Yeah.
But like over 5 years forward, because 5 years like of like losing your life. Because if you go forward, you're losing your life. If you go backward, you're not.
Yeah.
But
you're losing less.
5 whole years.
Yeah, but you're losing less if it's in this question being like only 2 forward or 5 back. So
I think I would go 2 forward.
Yeah, I think I would too, but it is kind of sad to then think like that would put us. I mean, technically I'm still 24, so I'd only be 26, which is like totally still like seems like mid-20s.
I know, I'm literally turning 26 later this year.
Yeah, but I don't know, something like the fact that we already kind of had to like miss out on like a year of our 20s like because of COVID just like makes me sad sometimes. Not that I would have like done anything
that's what's
exciting
like,
anyway.
I know people always say that, but like we were supposed to go to LA. That's like the most thing of the things. And like our friend was supposed to have a wedding. Obviously like both of those were 2 like major events that we were planning to do, wanted to do, didn't do. But in other ways it's like I still kept my same job. So did you. We just did it from home.
Yeah.
I still got to see my family for the holidays. I don't know, like I got to go into a TJ Maxx. Like it's like the thing, like I still got to, you know, have coffee out, have takeout, have like buy things and shop and create some
like
new
bring
experiences
joy
outside, you know, visiting a vineyard. Like we've had good times. So I'm like, what would I even be doing different? Like when people are like, oh, like what are you planning to do? I'm like, the same kind of I've had the same question every summer, like, oh, what do I want to do this summer? That COVID hasn't really changed. I guess like I finally, you know, got to see my high school friends that I haven't seen, but it's like there's not a lot of things that I'm like, I want to do that and I can't do it because of COVID. It's just it looks different because of COVID.
Yeah, I just think I put too much pressure on age in terms of like relationships and like marriage timelines and kids timelines. So it just like, you know, I think like a lot of people in our generation are kind of guilty of, I mean, it definitely is getting better as time goes on, but I think we're kind of guilty of being like, oh, well, when you're 30, something's got to happen. So it's like, it just kind of freaks me out to like lose a couple of those like buffer years before 30 almost.
I totally get that. I mean, I'm working through that in therapy. Like, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
About my own life
timeline. Yeah.
However, I'm trying to actively stop thinking about that because I realize there are always going to be people older than me, always going to be people younger than me. Time doesn't slow down. Like, I've realized that my mindset about it doesn't change the way it's like what happens. It
There's nothing you can do. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like if I could just stop putting so much pressure on myself, I would probably feel better about the situation. Yeah. That isn't changing. Like
you have to adapt to it.
I'm not doing anything differently in my dating life just because I am 25. Well, I guess I'm doing things differently as in like I'm cutting out some of the losers earlier on because I'm like 25 now. I don't have time for this crap.
Right. But like, yeah, I think it's a good goal to like try to free ourselves from those kind of timeline pressures.
Yeah, like if I'm 27 and my life looks the exact same it does now, that's okay with me. What's wrong with my life now?
Right.
What's wrong with floors and ceilings and walls and indoor plumbing? Nothing. I've got all
every question can be answered with that question.
What is wrong with wanting that? That's what I have. Bring on 27.
Beautiful. This question I put in just for me because I think it's funny. Okay.
I put this in just for me.
Selfish. No. If it meant you could save pizza from extinction, would you eat a cricket?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so funny though? Like, who thought of that question?
Pizza cricket.
Like, what in the world?
Pizza, I mean.
Give me the cricket.
You put it in a little marinara?
One little cricket for a lifetime of pizza? Like, absolutely.
It would freak me out that it looks like cricket. Like,
I mean, it's nasty.
Bugs. If you, like, took the meat out of the bugs.
Ew.
You would need a lot to, like, make a decent. You get, like, it would take, like, 1,000,000 bugs to make, like, a single piece of meat. But, like, if you asked me to eat the insides of cricket, and it was just like put in a teeny, like put on a spoon, and I had no idea.
I do not feel so good right now.
That would be way easier for me than seeing the cricket.
Yeah. Like, I agree.
Make no mistake about it. It would be very hard for me to eat a cricket.
Put that in your mouth, yeah.
But I would.
It's not meant for your mouth.
Don't they have like antennas?
Yeah, they've got like.
I feel like I mix
sear
up crickets
sticks
and grasshoppers. I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, that's true. I think they do look really similar. I feel like I've seen people eat them on The Bachelor.
Yeah, I feel like we are actually mocking a foreign delicacy.
Well,
right
some
now.
people were.
I mean, a delicacy, but
I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying.
Cricket and it's all the sport. I love that. That's like good for people like me who are afraid. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying. To me, it does not look appealing.
I understand that in other cultures eating bugs is normal and that they're probably like, well, you eat a cow and you think that that's kosher, but like bugs scare me so much that
it just doesn't feel right.
Parts and
it's just in the same way that like I don't want to like eat like put a rock in my mouth. Like there are just like things in life that I'm just like you don't
want a rock that's like a gobstopper.
Well, yes, but like. I just feel like there are things in life that you just don't think to put in your mouth. And bugs are one of them for me. But I would eat it to save pizza.
It does have an antenna. And they've got kind of big eyes. Oh, I don't like it. God. But, not an antenna. They have 2 antennas. But I would slather it in some marinara and some mozzarella.
I know you could do the dessert route too. Like they do like chocolate crickets. So that's an option. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't just do it for fun, but yes, I would do it to save pizza.
In a way that I could not tell what is going on at all.
Yeah.
And I would also probably try to swallow it whole.
Oh, God.
Maybe I wouldn't save pizza. Okay.
You better save pizza. Everyone out there, if you're ever given the opportunity to save pizza, you better do it.
I just feel like, what is pizza?
Or else you're taking my happiness away from me.
Sauce and cheese. And so it's like, couldn't I just recreate pizza on my own?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting because, like, I'm someone who loves pizza so much that I will, like, make it on different vehicles.
Right.
So like, it's like, does that still count? Is that still extinct?
Yeah, like, is it like
a pizza bagel?
To think of pizza as a concept?
Right.
Or is it just like, there are no pizza places?
Traditional pizza, yeah. I don't know. Either way, I can't live without it, so I'm eating a cricket.
You really can't.
I can't. If you were, another food one, if you were responsible for choosing whether the world would have bagels or donuts, which one would you choose? So, like, you have to make one extinct and save the other.
I would choose to have bagels.
I would too.
Like, donuts are great, but I feel like I eat bagels more often than I eat donuts.
Me too. And it's just, like, bagels serve such a good purpose.
Yeah.
For, like, a quick, like, especially if you're in normal times, like out and about and you need to grab something quick. It's just like easy to hold and eat.
I feel like people might say, like, what is, like, you know, if you just want like a bagel with like some cream cheese or butter or whatever, like you can do toast. There's no reason you can't put some toast in the toaster and put cream cheese on it, or like jelly or whatever you're gonna put on a bagel. And then on the other end, people might say, but what about bagel sandwiches? And it's like, but what about regular sandwiches? But why is it that bagel sandwiches are a completely different thing than regular? Like, I've never eaten a turkey club on regular bread and thinking like, well, I'm thinking, yeah, I like this, and then I like eat on a bagel and I'm like, wait, hold on, I'm confusing myself. I feel like the point is like they serve two different like points. Like I never am like, I'm in the mood for a sandwich and like, let me get a bagel sandwich.
But I think in general, if you're out and you're like say you're like shopping or something and you need like a quick meal, like what else serves that better than a bagel? I mean, I'm a little biased because I don't like sandwiches because like I don't eat meat, so it's like what, like the only sandwich I can really have is like if somewhere happens to have a special vegetarian like tofu sandwich or like a grilled cheese
or like a breakfast sandwich.
And I'm like, I would 100% rather just have the bagel sandwich. So I guess I can't really speak to it because like a lot of sandwiches are like taken out of the game for me.
An egg and cheese on like an English muffin.
That's true.
Like Dunkin' and probably Starbucks have like English muffins.
Yeah. But it's like, no, like donuts don't, I don't know, maybe people disagree if they love donuts, but like they just don't like serve any purpose for me the way that bagels do.
People will eat a donut as like their breakfast in the way that you eat a bagel as a breakfast.
Yeah.
I feel like neither one of them actually stick with me. Like I don't eat a bagel and think, oh wow, I'm so full.
Right.
Like unless it's a bagel sandwich.
I mean, neither of them are good for you. Yeah, bagel sandwich is different because then you get like protein.
Oh yeah, now like I'm out and about, I gotta get a bagel, and then like now I'm never gonna be hungry again. Like I don't know.
Now I'm fueled.
But I feel like I would choose to keep bagels.
Oh yeah. Would you rather give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life?
I hate this question. I don't know why. That just like made me angry.
I would rather eat the same dinner just because, like, I would happily do that. Like, I would eat pizza every night.
This is another one of those things, though, where everyone wants you to say, give up social media.
Yeah, but
all the cool kids are like, give up social media.
But
I don't want to give up social media. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with just
what's wrong with that?
A ceiling, a floor. Like, what is? I get like people like social media is so toxic. Like,
it's cool to be like, I could give it up.
And
yeah,
it's like I don't have a problem with social media though. It doesn't feel toxic in my life. I feel like I'd probably eat the same dinner.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, again, me eating the same dinner is just like
pizza.
I would happily do that. So it's not like I would never give up social media.
Different breakfast, different lunch, different snacks.
And I mean, we've talked about this before because I feel like we also have brought up like, what meal would you eat for the rest of your life? And it's like,
got it.
Pizza is a vehicle. So like you could put anything you want on there.
Tacos?
Have totally different. Is that what yours would be?
I feel like it would be because you can also use tacos in different ways.
That's the key. I just thought this one was like so dumb. Would you rather have $1 million or 1,000,000 laughs, pal?
So if you don't have $1 million, you can laugh, but
not 1,000,000 times, pal.
I'd rather have $1 million. I feel like this should be like, would you
no
rather
ha-has,
have $1
no
million
he's
and be depressed, or
I know.
would you rather? Even
You're like
I
not
would
really
choose the $1 million.
Yeah, if you choose the 1,000,000, you're not really giving anything up. But if you choose the laughs, you're like, you could have had $1 million.
Right. I don't get that. Like, they're not saying you can't laugh.
I just put this in there because I was like, what is this question? Like $1 million or 1,000,000
put it
laughs?
This way, under almost any circumstances, I do want the $1 million. Like,
I'm never gonna not want it.
Things can go to shit, and I can deal with it, and I'll, do other things to combat the shit
without laughing.
And I'll have $1 million.
Yeah, you can buy things.
I can be an unhappy person, but at least I'll be able to buy things. I don't know. I enjoy security.
$1 million laughs. Would you rather live in a world where everyone ignores you, or in a world where everyone...
Like, yes.
I knew you were going to say that when I read this question. Would you rather live in a world where everyone ignores you, or in a world where everyone is mean to you?
Oh, I get it now. I was like, how is that a catch? If people are mean to you, that means there are also people who are good to you. Oh, wait. No, wait. What?
It says everyone.
Everyone is either mean to you or ignores you.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'd rather people ignore me. I thought it was going to be like...
Everyone ignores you, or like some people are mean to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
in that case, would you choose some people being mean to you?
Yeah, because people are already mean to me. Like, I already have people who are kind of mean. I thought it was sort of like you have like people who are mean to you where like literally no one ever acknowledges your existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would rather be ignored for sure. Don't pay attention to me.
Like imagine that.
Don't look at me.
So that everyone either ignores you or they're mean to you. Like
yep.
That's it. Like
yep.
that's like anytime.
So I think
anytime someone doesn't ignore you, it's to be mean. So why would I want that?
I know. I guess there must be people out there who like would hate that so much to like never be perceived, like to never be acknowledged.
I think that would bother me too.
I don't think. I mean, I can say it lightly, like, oh yeah, like I want everyone to ignore me, but like that would be hard. Like, if it includes like your friends, your family, like, the people that you love, like that would be really hard.
It's like in 16 Candles.
Yeah, everyone. Well, it's like it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life too. Like everyone forgets you exist. Yeah, so like it wouldn't be easy, but I would definitely choose to be ignored.
Every time we play Would You Rather, I'm like so glad that
you don't have
I don't have to do any of these.
Yeah, true.
I'll never put in these kinds of ultimatums.
Would you rather never get tired or never have to go to the bathroom?
Never have to go to the bathroom.
Really?
That'd be awesome.
It would be, but I feel like you're someone who, like this week, for example, like you were really tired this week.
Yeah, but imagine like you never get tired, so you're like an insomniac.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect you. Yeah, you just...
I know, but like I would like drive myself nuts if I never slept.
Yeah, because just like what do you fill the time with?
I already like hate like when I feel like restless at night and can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. But if I never had to go to the bathroom, it's like great. One less thing to think about. Like one less thing to worry about.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, I would definitely pick
I would rather like be a normal human and like get tired and then be like, okay, I need to rest now. But it'd be cool if I was like eating and being like, yeah, I don't need to poop.
Yeah, I mean that's like a cool thing about it too. Like even those kind of foods that are like, this is gonna, Taco Bell or whatever. Like you could eat whatever.
Yeah, like it would be cool to it's just one less thing you have to think about. Going to the bathroom, buying toilet paper. Wouldn't even have to have toilets in our homes. Like,
then what happens if you have a guest over and they're like, where the hell is your toilet, dude?
Oh yeah, because it doesn't affect. This isn't me choosing for everyone.
The world.
Like, imagine that I like it's just me, so like I don't even put like a toilet in my home.
Yeah, people are like, they're like, what do I do? Yeah. No, I, as someone who, I don't know like how much I've talked about this on the podcast, if ever, but
you have.
I've had some issues surrounding bathroom endeavors, so I would definitely want to take that issue out of my life. So I would rather never have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't see the benefit to. I guess I understand like not wanting to get tired, but like I don't mind being tired.
As you yawn.
Yeah.
Would you rather never have to speak or never have to hear anything again? I feel like it's like for normal people kind of a silly question because it's like,
what do you mean by normal people?
Well, so I am tempted about the never hearing anything again, which like I couldn't pick that because like, you know, another classic would you rather question is like, would you rather go blind or deaf? Like whatever, would you rather lose your sight or hearing? And I always am like, I have trouble because like, I mean, it is for you too, but like music is like such a huge part of my life that I'm like, it would hurt so much to give that up and like never be able to hear music again. But so like this question is just interesting because like I'm an introvert. I'm not like a huge talker. I mean, here I am on a podcast, but like I'm not a huge talker. So like the idea of never speaking again isn't like, oh no, like it's annoying, but it's not like, how could I live? But like hearing is interesting for me because like I have a disorder called misophonia that is irritated by sound. So it's like that option would mean that like if I never heard anything again, I wouldn't hear my triggers again. So then I wouldn't feel the feelings again, which is like very enticing. But again, that would also mean like giving up music. So
right. I guess it depends on like I feel like you would probably say that you get more enjoyment out of being able to hear than you don't.
Yes.
Like yeah. Like I feel like you get more enjoyment than you do more
detriment.
Yeah, I can't think of like a good like word that's like opposite of that, but like
yeah, and like you know, like I will listen to music like all day and then like only in some situations am I like triggered by misophonia stuff. So it's like the ratio like in my life that those things happen too is very like dominated.
I feel like you wouldn't mind not speaking.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. But I mean, again, same as like, what did we say?
You can still communicate. You just wouldn't be speaking. I feel like you could even write things down.
It's just like same as like the being ignored one where I was like, yeah, I know it's a meme where like I don't like whatever, like I don't need to socialize or whatever, but like it actually like would be hard to like be ignored, whatever. I feel like that is similar with this. It's like, yes, I am someone whose personality type like would make it fine for me not to speak, but it still would be like tough.
Right, but I feel like you would obviously both scenarios would be tough. That's the point.
Yes.
But I feel like one is
given
more
my
obviously in your favor.
My personality type.
Like
yeah.
You spend more time in a day listening to music than you do speaking.
Yes.
So like
yeah.
I feel like wait, so what is it? I can't hear or I can't speak?
Would you rather never have to speak again or never have to hear anything again?
It's so interesting the phrasing of that. Never have to.
Yeah. They're assuming you like don't want to.
Well, it's also like I would never be forced to speak again.
Yeah.
But I could.
Yeah, like have to.
I don't know. I really don't know what I would want to do in that scenario. I my inclination is to say speak again because then I could just find alternate ways to communicate.
It's kind of easier to like continue your normal life that way.
Yeah, it would really frustrate me.
Would you rather be allergic to chocolate or be allergic to cheese?
Cheese.
See, here's where pizza throws a wrench in things for me. I
love chocolate so much.
I feel like I'd rather be allergic to chocolate, honestly.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, again, it would be tough, and that's the point of these questions. But I just feel like there are so many other dessert things for me that I could put on par with chocolate, whereas there's no other like entree food thing that I could put on par with pizza.
Yeah.
So like I could be satisfied by other desserts, but I couldn't be as satisfied by other foods.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I feel like I would go with cheese. I would stick with my first love of chocolate.
I thought you would. Would you rather be the ugliest person in the world or smell the worst?
Oh. Probably the ugliest.
Interesting.
It would. I feel like. Okay, here's the thing. If you were very ugly. So that's the other thing. It's very subjective, right? But like,
yes.
If you were like, let's just get over the politics of the fact that we're using the word ugly and everyone's beautiful, whatever.
Yes, total subjectivity, yeah.
Let's say I'm really ugly. People probably will look at me and think, she knows she's ugly. She has ugly energy. Like, she's going about the world in a way that tells me that she knows that she's ugly. Because I probably would carry myself in an ugly way. But if I smell and people smell me, people are going to be like, oh, she doesn't know she smells. Because if you knew you smelled, wouldn't you do something about it?
Right.
So I feel like the fact that people would think that I am not aware is what would bother me so much.
Yeah.
And the fact that I would be embarrassed of myself. I couldn't be. How could you be? Like, you don't want to be. Even if you're ugly, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
There's a difference. Like, it's like, I think, and there really shouldn't be, because, like, even, like, body odor and whatnot, it's like, that there's, I mean, well, okay, I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but I was going to say, like, certain people aren't privileged enough to not be smelly, but.
True.
I guess the way I feel is, like, people pity you when you're ugly. People hate you when you're smelly.
Well, it's also like
take a goddamn shower when you're smelly.
Yeah.
And if you're ugly, people are like, oh, poor thing. I bet she has a beautiful soul. Like,
yeah, I also feel like to be around. I mean, maybe
like a shit person right now.
No, we're acknowledging that we're just being silly, but.
There was the acknowledgement.
Here it is. We're being silly. Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, maybe people who are like evil and not nice wouldn't agree with this, but I feel like it doesn't cause you any pain or, annoyance to be around someone who's quote unquote ugly. But if you're around someone who smells, that decreases your quality of life for a moment.
We were in the grocery store, and Marissa and I were sharing a cart, so we were walking around together, which is not something we normally do when we grocery shop. If we go together, we go our separate ways. But we were like, let's do one cart. We're gonna go through the aisles, in and out, whatever. And we're walking through the aisles. Every time we entered a new aisle, I was like, oh my God, this reeks of BO. And I would be like, why? Whoever it is clearly making their way right in front of us. Like, they're clearly
we're trailing them
ahead. Yeah. Because I felt like we kept getting waves of it. And I was so bothered.
I know.
And
that's what I mean. Like, if someone's
but if I see someone who I don't think is.
Yeah, it's who cares? Someone else could find them not ugly. It doesn't
also,
mean anything.
It doesn't, let's say, you're meeting someone for, I don't know why this is coming to mind. But let's say your family member is I need to take my daughter to, a funeral, or my daughter needs to go to, whatever. Say, you're, tagging along with someone in your family. I feel like your family member would be embarrassed of you if you're smelly, but not necessarily if you're ugly, because maybe
there's nothing to.
But I would be embarrassed if I was walking around with you and you were smelly. But if you're ugly, I wouldn't care. I'd be like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
It's true, everyone. I have an ugly friend. But if you're smelly, I'd be like, oh boy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what
I do.
You do. I do understand what you mean.
I do. Okay. And the last one is just a classic. I feel like it's funny because we've never actually answered this, both on the podcast and just in conversation, because it feels too on the nose for a would you rather.
Oh gosh.
But it's just the classic.
Oh no.
No, not oh no. Nothing to be worried about, my friend.
Right. I'm waiting for a spider to come up. You know what I mean?
No. Just very sounds boring, but we've never actually answered it. So I'm let's just answer the classic one, which is, would you rather be able to fly or be able to turn invisible? Oh. I feel like that's such a boring, classic one. That's just if you had a superpower,
that's true,
would you fly or be invisible? But it's we've never actually answered it. So I'm let's answer it.
So my initial reaction was say invisible, because I would love to teleport. And then I realized that just because I'm invisible doesn't mean I can teleport.
If you can fly, you can kind of teleport.
But if I can fly, I can kind of I can get around. That would be cool. I go to the local Star Market and then I fly home with my groceries on my arm. But being invisible could be cool. But okay, I'm trying to imagine this. I feel like if I could fly, I would literally go everywhere by fly.
It would be useful. Yeah, it would be
like,
practical.
If I was invisible, I feel like I'm trying to think of like actual ways I would use it. So like I feel like if I was really embarrassed, I would go invisible.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Imagine like someone.
That's where my mind
like,
went.
You're at work, right? And like you're sitting at your desk. Something embarrassing happens, and you just like put on your invisibility cloak, so all of a sudden you disappear and your coworkers are like, oh, she's embarrassed again.
Yes.
Like imagine.
I love that.
But like what, like truly, like what are the ways
it
that
doesn't
you would use it?
It doesn't serve a practical purpose. It's more of just like it gets you out of embarrassing situations purpose.
But even then, like people know then that you went invisible, so people are like, oh, she's embarrassed.
Yeah, but like if I'm not there, I don't care. Like I'm just, and then if they,
you could be there,
and then
you
if
could
I,
just be invisible.
That's true. And then if I turn visible again, and they're like, Marissa, why did you turn invisible? I'd be like, I don't want to have this conversation, and then I go invisible again.
They won't know.
Every time they ask me, every time I enter conflict, I just go invisible again.
I just wonder,
then I come back, they're like, let's talk about it. I'm like, oh,
are
bye.
You also like see through, like I guess I'm like, oh, if I was on like the T or something, I could just go invisible. But then I'm like, would someone sit on me? Or would I be invisible?
Well, maybe, yeah.
Like see through.
I don't know. But I think I said this already on this podcast episode, but sometimes I just...
You could steal.
Oh, isn't that funny though? Because like if
but
you...
then is your items invisible?
Exactly. Like would the item be seen? Like it just like looks like a ghost?
Be funny. Like you could go across the Canadian border. Or any border, I guess.
Yeah,
you could just go to the airport and get on a flight.
Yes. That would be, but if you can fly, you can just fly. Yeah, I just, sometimes I don't want to be perceived. And so for that reason, I would choose invisible.
I've had several times in my life where I've just been like, I just want to crawl into a hole right now.
Yep.
Like, I wish I could cover myself up.
And imagine if you could. Crazy. Yeah. Well, that's it.
Wait, I got one for you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Would you rather get COVID-19 or get vaccinated? There's only one answer here, folks.
Oh man, that's a tough one, surely. No, I would rather get vaccinated, my friends.
And that's the message of today's podcast.
And that's on
Please
period.
Go get vaccinated. If you're anywhere near Boston or you're in the Massachusetts area, there is a mass vaccination site called the Reggie Lewis Center that we went to.
Yeah.
Accepting walk-ins.
Yeah. There must be hours posted online.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how cool that is because we were saying like, man, it was so tough at one point for people who wanted appointments to get them. So the fact that now people can just walk in there and get vaxxed is just amazing. So
yeah. So that is the overarching message I want to leave you all with today.
Yeah.
No matter whether the shot hurts or doesn't, whether your arm hurts or doesn't, whether you get symptoms or not. It is worth it to get vaccinated for not only your health, but the health of your fellow Earthmates.
I was soundtracking you.
And good night. I wonder if it's way louder, so like it's actually just like
it's a
you're
cacophony.
Not soundtracking me. Instead, you're just talking over me, so no one heard what I said. I'm actually soundtracking you.
Who knows? Time will tell.
All right. Well,
love you guys. Thanks for listening for over a year. Now it's over a year. Damn.
We should cut that out. That was awful. What I just did.
I'm the editor and it stays in.
You can't cut it out because you were talking. You have to cut off you. Okay, we're going to go invisible now. Bye.
Bye.